In this tutorial, let's understand the initial setup of sales function. So for you to do that, you need to go to Setup, Easy Assistant Setup, and Sales Function. So when you click this, you have different options just like in accounts. So we'll look at them one by one. Okay, so let's go next. Now this will give you the layout. So this is the format or the layout of the invoice when you print it from MYOB. So if you click item, this is how the layout would be. Usually when you're dealing with inventory, you click item. When you're dealing with services, you just click services. Or sometimes professional, if you're an accounting firm or a law firm. In this example, I'm leaving this as a service. Okay, I'm clicking next. Now here again, this is the item price level. If you're selling inventory, it will give you the options of selecting different levels, but I'm leaving this as best selling because this is not relevant to us because we have selected service industry. Okay, now here in this section, if you click this area here, which you got triangles, so when you click this, it will take you to a chart of accounts. So in anywhere in MYOB, when you see this symbol, that will take you to a chart of accounts. So let's click that, and this is how the chart of accounts are. So what happens is when you're selling everything and you want all the income to go to one GL category, you can fix that GL category here. You can set it up here. So it's something like fee income. So just click that and then click use account. So what happens is every time you sell anything to your customer, it will go to this GL code. You can still go and change it, but if 90% of your income is going to that GL code, it'll save you time. Okay, so when you click next, now here, that's the tax codes. Now when you're doing sales within Australia, you need to pay 10% of GST. When you're selling to outside Australia, you don't have to pay GST. Once again, for this tax information, just get clarification from your tax accountant. Okay, so here it will give you again the option to select either GST or any other type. As you have noticed this symbol here, lines and down arrow, click this and you can select either NT or GST. Sometimes when you're sending stuff to your customer, you might charge a freight as an income. So it's asking you what the freight code should be. In some cases, if you're doing the freight overseas, it will be NT or FRE. But once again, get your tax accountant's advice on this one. In this example, I'm leaving that as GST. Okay, so let's go next. So when you go next, the other few things here you have is how do your customers pay you? So do they pay you via American Express or Visa card or MasterCard or Diners Club, FPOS? So this will ask you how they will pay you. Sometimes you might have to put a new code called direct deposit. So if you want to create a new code here, then and there, what I'm doing is I'm clicking new, and what I'm doing here is I'm saying direct deposit. Okay, and method of payment, I would say I would say other. So I'll say okay. So here I can select most of my customers will pay me with direct deposit. So either I can double click this, or I can just select this and say use method, one and same. Right. Now the next one is, this is very important when you're doing your accounts receivable report, aging report. Okay, so here it will tell you if you extend the credit terms, how do you want your customers to pay? So there are different types of credit terms we give to our customers. The first one is COD, which is cash on delivery. Something is prepaid, something you want the customers to prepay you even before the delivery, and given in a given number of days. So if you have sold goods on 15th of January, you want them to pay in 30 days, they have to pay you by 15th of February. And sometimes they say on the day of the month. So I want the first day of the end of the month, or second day of the end of the month. EOM is end of the month. Okay, or in given number of days after the end of the month. So this is sometimes important. You want to say, I want to give 15 days after the end of the month. So I sold goods on 1st of January. The end of month is 31st of January. 15 days after that is 15th of February. Okay, this is all depending on your company policy, and this is day of the month after the end of month. In usual scenario, you give in a number of days and you give 30 days. Okay, but check with your company policy or financial controller what is your policy, what's your credit policy, and how many days you need to take them. Next is the linked accounts. Now here it will ask you, whenever the customer pays you money, which is the other side of the GL code you want to take that into. Leave it as check account, because usually nowadays everyone's giving you money into the bank account, or even they give you a check, you would go and deposit that into a bank account. Now here, though it says check account, this is nothing but a bank account. If you notice, the top one is a bank account, so leave it as a bank account. Now the next section is, it says undeposited funds. If sometimes people give you checks, not every time you would take this check and run to bank account then and there. Sometimes you might wait for 2 or 3 days, and then you accumulate the checks, and once it comes to maybe 5 in number, you would put all together and then deposit it. So in that situation, you would use a bank deposit function. We will discuss in detail about the bank deposit function, but you would leave that as undeposited funds because the funds have not come to your bank account yet, so leave it as undeposited funds. Okay, let's see the next one, which is the customer card. So here you can build a customer card. When you click new, it will take to your customer card, but I will discuss that in detail when I'm setting up a customer under sales data entry section. Okay, so let me go next. Now here is the historical sales of the total sales you did, the number, the name of the customer, invoice and amount due for each customer. Get a bit of statistics, and you go next. So that's about it. That's a quick review on how to set up sales function when you're doing the initial setup in MYOB.